Oh god, that's disgusting.
I should have drank that water after all.
Hey guys, what's up? I miss a lot of you. I'm sure I don't know some of you, but like, hey, welcome. So I've obviously had a lot of spare time on my hands this quarantine, as I'm sure a lot of you can relate. So I've been trying to figure out what to do with my time, and what do I like better than talking about myself? Hey guys, so I'm just watching my video back while I'm editing it, and since there's like a global pandemic going on right now, we all are very hyper aware and are being reminded a million times a day to not touch our faces. But as you can see, I'm not very aware of when I'm touching my own fucking face. So I'm going to just go ahead and put a face touching counter up at the top here, and we're just gonna keep track of how many times I wash my face, how many times I touch my face over the course of this video, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with that other than point out how dumb I am, as well as I don't know, try and do better next time, I guess. Okay, back to the video. The other reason I like this idea is because I not only like talking about myself, but I like listening to other people talk about their interests. So what I want to do is start an IGTV tag going where we have a little bit more time to go through whatever the tag is. And then my plan is that I'm going to tag a few people that I think or that I know are interested in the subject matter. I don't want them to feel bad if I like tag them in a reading video. And they don't read, or they used to read, or whatever. Like, what my point is, anybody can join this tag, and please don't feel bad if I tag you and you like haven't been doing it, or you don't feel like doing the video. In the end, this video series is honestly just for me, so it doesn't bother me if nobody responds or joins in, or if everybody does. Honestly, I'm just trying to keep myself
Fucking busy.
So the reason I thought that I would enjoy doing this is because I used to have a YouTube channel called Broken Bookshelf, and I would just like talk about books all the time. And I honestly, when I had the time to do it, it was really enjoyable for me. So I think that this will help in the same way that that did, just keeping me busy, keeping me doing stuff, and trying new things with newfangled technology that I don't understand yet, and getting a little bit of a grasp on it. Today, I want to just chat about some of the books that I've been reading during this quarantine. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to do a little recommendation of a book that I love and think that everybody should read now that you have the time to do it. Don't lie. You have the time. We know you do. We all have the time. Let's be honest. If you've been reading, film a video where you just talk about the books that you've been reading, what you thought about them, whatever. They can be long responses, short responses. It doesn't matter. It's what you want to do, just the same way this is what I want to do. So you do you, Buttercup. What I would love for you guys to do, though, if you want to take my suggestion, follow the tag. Tell us about the books you're reading right now, and then give us a suggestion on a book that you have loved. It doesn't have to be one you've read on the quarantine, just a book you love that you think that now that people have time for it, they should probably read. I'm already 3 minutes into the video, so this is definitely getting edited down because my goal is to keep this whole thing under 5 minutes. Because let's be honest,
nobody cares.
Okay, so the first book that I finished on this quarantine.
Whoa! I dropped it!
So I finished this book during quarantine. This is Misery by Stephen King. A classic. I think a lot of you have probably read it. Let me know what you think of it if you have. An author of this book series that's like super popular. It's kind of like a romance series. He gets drunk and goes for a drive and crashes his car. He wakes up alone in a house with this like random woman in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, he's taken captive, and it just kind of like escalates from there. It's kind of a psychological, it's not kind of, it's definitely a psychological thriller. So you kind of watch the descent of this character. Oh god, I don't even remember his name. This is why I have no credentials to be a booktuber
At all.
I'm bad at names. So this is a book that I read like less than a month ago, and I cannot remember the characters' names already. Paul is the character's name. You basically watch his descent into madness because this woman that like took him from his car when he crashed it, is a psychopath. You get to know her a little bit better.
There's character development, just like any good novel.
This book was fantastic. What I love about Stephen King is the depth of his characters. He spends a lot of time developing them and taking you deep inside their minds. So when you're reading a Stephen King book, even though they are a lot of the times like out there concepts, because he's a horror novelist, you can't help but kind of believe it a little bit. Like, you can still picture yourself in the book. You all probably just like should pick it up and go read it. I think that was a classic thing to say from BookTube. I don't know how to end this in a way that's not BookTube. The next book that I read, and I'm so embarrassed to show this, but you guys have to understand. Okay, backstory. I just got a puppy. That's pretty much all the backstory you need. Oh, it's so sad. I'm so upset about it. And the worst part is that this was loaned to me by good friends of mine, and that just makes it all the worse. Like, I would be
So upset.
if this happened to a book that I loaned somebody. What this whole experience is teaching me is to be more understanding overall. I just don't loan my books out if I don't want them to get ruined. Because I know I'm kind of
Crazy about it.
and this is why, because stupid people like me accidentally leave the book on the bed with a new puppy that eats things, like everything. She eats everything.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, oh, you have the book in your mouth. What the fuck? Anywho, so, Supermarket by Logic, aka Bobby Hall. It's another psychological thriller. I don't know if I want to tell you much about it. This kid who, lost his job. How did this happen? See, I'm so bad with all this stuff. Right. Okay, I was gonna say he recently lost his job. But okay, it's all coming back now. We're good. We're good. Okay. Flynn recently got dumped by like the love of his life, okay? And he's like super depressed about it. And part of the reason like she dumped him is because he's like he can't get his shit together. So then he decides to get his shit together. I don't even know if I want to tell you more because it might spoil it. Okay, I'll tell you just as much as the end of like the introductory phase of the novel, and that's it, I promise. Okay, so he is a writer. He's an author. The reason he was dumped is because he keeps writing books and he doesn't finish them. So the girl, his girlfriend was tired of it because he's just like going nowhere with his life and his dreams. So she says like, bye, sayonara. I want somebody who like does what they say they're gonna do, I guess. Or at least like grows in some way. He goes through this depressed phase and his mom has to bring him out of it. At some point he gets a call from like some random book agency that liked his idea that he submitted at some point, and they want to go with it, even though it's like a half-baked idea. They're like, I like where this is going, we're gonna fund it, go for it. And so he's like, yes, I'm actually gonna finish this time because I don't want to be dumped by this company the way I was dumped by my girlfriend. Oh, okay. He's working at a supermarket and decides to write his book about it, and that's basically all I'm gonna tell you. It was really good. It kept you really, really interested. I think Bobby Hall had a really good grasp on what keeps people interested in a book. Keeps people turning the page. Good one, Bobby Hall. What I will say about it is that it has like really good Inception vibes. Ooh. Moving on. Okay, this is like way too long. The next book that I covered was Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a good book, and I would recommend it as a really good quarantine read. Honestly, it's another psychological thriller. I feel like I just read 3 psychological thrillers in a row. I'm definitely in a psychological thriller kick for sure. This one is more of a sci-fi thriller though, not so much psychological, I guess. This is about the multiverse. And if you aren't familiar with that, that is the theory that there's many different universes or dimensions, I guess would be a better way to put it. So there's many different universes and many different dimensions, and like as many as you can think of. Like basically every choice you make opens a different dimension or world. Unlike the other 2 books, who had more like main characters that you weren't sure what to believe with them, which I like, but this one was more like a down-to-earth main character. So he just lived a life. He was a scientist, a really brilliant scientist who kind of like gave up that career path to just have a family, which is fairly normal. Hey, Ella. No, there's a lot of that going on lately. Chew on your wood stick. Then one night he goes out, like, I don't know,
For milk or something, you know the story.
On his way home, he gets mugged and kidnapped. He wakes up in a world that he doesn't know. And I almost feel like telling you that it's about the multiverse is a spoiler a little bit, but to be honest, I'm going to show you this. How do I turn this around? Well, I can't. Apparently, I can't. So this is the dedication. Can you see that? I don't know why I can't turn my camera around. Fuck. What the fuck? So it says, like, what might have been and what may have been. Point to one end which is always present. Footfalls echo in the memory. Down the passage we did not take, towards the door we never opened. So, to be honest, Blake Crouch, you spoiled your own book for me, man. Your fucking dedication, like, made me, like, understand, like, right from the get-go. I'm, like, trying to get as much of the daylight that's left because it's the best light in the house. This is taking so fucking long. The lighting in my video at the end is going to be so different from the beginning. So that is Dark Matter. A pretty good introduction to the multiverse theory, which will, like, mess with your mind if you really want to, like, think deeply about what it means that every choice we make opens a different dimension. Go for it. Okay, what I'm reading now, folks, I don't have much to say about it other than it's a young adult novel, which was a weird choice for me, especially coming out of, like, the trilogy of psychological or scientific thrillers. But I'm reading Uglies, and that's just because this has been sitting on my shelf for probably 5 or 6 years now, and it's a recommendation from back in the days when I used to do my booktube channel, and I was really into young adult novels back then, but now I'm not so much lately, but I want to give it a try, if not to just decide that I don't like it so that I can finally get rid of it. A novel that I recommend you all to read during your quarantine because it's so fucking good is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. It is the perfect mashup of literature and art, which is really just what all art should be, like crossovers between different I don't know, genres. That's what I'm looking for. Genres is the word. It's one of those novels that's not just like you reading text. There's also artwork throughout it. There's like pictures for you to interact with that add to the story and kind of make it more like of a livable, believable journey. And this one was, I love it. I love it. I love it. There's a movie about it because the story is honestly just that good. The movie sucks in comparison. So don't come at me, bro, with that shit like, oh, I saw the movie, it was meh. Well, yeah, that's because it's the movie.
Get the fuck out of here.
Go read the book. You have time. We know you have time. You can't tell us you don't have time. We all have fucking time. So I think I gotta stop. I gotta sign off. My timer on my phone for this is 21 minutes. I gotta cut that back. I am a rambler, guys. What can I say? I'm gonna tag a few people. I haven't decided who yet, but like, here they are. I'm pretty sure you can put font on an IG live video. I really don't know yet. This is all, I'm winging it, guys. I'm fucking winging it. So I tagged a few people, but remember, anybody who wants to join in the fun can join in the fun, and please tag me in your videos and use the hashtag, not just a book tag, because I said that I enjoyed doing my YouTube channel and it was just a booktube channel where I talked about books. I started the kickoff to this IGTV quarantine shit with this topic to, you know, throwback Thursday, or it's Friday, so flashback Friday, I guess. That's what the kids are saying these days. Use the hashtag because I'm not gonna just be talking about books on here. I'm just gonna talk about whatever the fuck I want. Every day, or not every day, or whenever the fuck I want to. I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And so that means that this tag will be used for more than just book talk. Okay. All right.